Right then folks, you join us today at Jansons Fishery, which is in between, I'm going to say, Nottingham and Grantham. A lovely little fishery for an open, and today we're on Munroes Lake and I've drew peg 20. The wonderful thing about Jansons is it doesn't really matter where you draw because there's loads of fish to be caught on all the pegs. We're going to be fishing for mainly carp in the 8 ounce to £3 bracket, and then there's the odd F1 about as well, which are about the pound mark. And it's going to be a case of catching as many as we can, so we have to be really efficient, fishing short on the deck and short in the edge, and we'll run through rigs and baits and stuff a little bit later on, so time to get set up. Right then, we've literally got a minute till we're all in, so I'm going to put some pellets on my lassos and we'll try and catch as many carp as we can in 5 hours. Is that us, Ricky? So we're going to start on the edge with a tiny little flexi pot, just with some fishery 2mm in. Close that one up. There we go. And the chap next to us already got one. Right then folks, we've been fishing for 2 hours and it's a proper marathon session today. We've just slipped that little F1 into the net. So we've got 155 carp / F1, so we've just had to shuffle and load the next round, and because we've filled 5 nets in 2 hours, which is absolutely ridiculous. It's not normally this solid on here. And if it continues throughout the day, we're on for an obscene weight. So just continuing to fish shallow, just flicking the rig over. So it's all about repetition. A few pellets over the top, carp net to netted, and then we'll just concentrate on what we're doing. Just get my landing net in position. Fish on, a few pellets over the top of that. But since we've moved the nets round, there's not as many coming into my peg. Obviously there's millions there still, but there's not as many coming into my peg. A bit better stamp one. And I need to make sure I'm clipping as I'm going along. So as he kicked then, I just trap my legs together and then it's nice and safe, you see. You can have no issues with the fish moving all over the shot. Net to net, a few pellets over the top, and then just flip that rig over again. And I've got a few pellets in my hand ready to go for when we get fish on, or if I need to refeed. So it's just that half second almost, but it just speeds everything up. There we Okay, missed the bite down, so I'm just going to feed a few pellets over the top, because there's not as many coming into my peg at the minute. Missed the bite again, a few pellets over the top. That's it, and then a few pellets over the top again, ready for the next one. Thanks Mr. Carp, right in the mouth. That was really dark coloured. Flip the rig over, fish in the net, landing that in position, fish on, feed, come back to me short kit, try and play him out the peg as best we can. There we go. So into my lap, chopping under my armpit, unhooking in, flip the rig over, a few pellets over the top, keep a tightish line if you can, whilst we're netting him. And we've got fish on, and we can't get him out of the net. There we go, got there eventually, my little stubby arm's letting me down. And we're going to, a few pellets over the top again. Need to flip twice. So we're 3 hours in now, and we've got 225 fish, but the peg is definitely slowing down. I need to change what I'm doing, so I'm starting to put little nugget balls of micros in the edge, and if we don't get a response pretty soon shallow, I'm going to pick up my deck rig for fishing underneath it. And we're getting loads of little tiny stockies as well, so there's an indication of some fish in the edge, but we're going to change that shallow rig and just have a look underneath it so we can hook him up. We've got a nice light rig, so that pellet falls through the water real slowly, and they sometimes just snatch it out on the drop with a tightish line to it. A few pellets over the top, and there we go, just on the drop. So they've just gone down in the water column, I think. Not a big fish, but a quick response. It's in the mouth, it's just the line's wrapped around his body. There we go, clip those two. And that bigger, heavier pellet just as a bit of a standout hook bait. So I'm going to flick him past, let that arc through naturally, stick him in the net. That one hasn't taken it on the drop that time, getting a few line bites. And then just going to have a 20 or so pellets when we do get a fish, like say, just to try and pin them up on the bottom a little bit more, whereas like when we were catching them shallow, we're just trying to starve them on the hook almost. But when we're fishing on the bottom, we want to put a few more pellets into to get them feeding confidently on the bottom, make them follow the pellets down. That's the theory anyway. Go, just got him in the wing. So when we're putting our rig in, we're going to feed some pellets, and then we're going to flick our pellet past, hold a tightish line to it, and just watching that line straighten up underneath, and there we go, we've had that one on the drop. So 20 or so pellets over the top again, just prepping ready for the next one. So we've just dropped in the edge. Give that short line a bit of a rest. That one's hopefully unhooked himself. Oh, but he stole me pellet. So I'm going to have to lasso a new pellet on. Just fishing a 6mm togging up, slide him in, and then this rig's totally different to what we were doing fishing on the deck rise. It's a real positive 0.4 with a bolt on the 2-inch hook bend, just so when it gets washed about by the cart coming in the peg, it's nice and stable. And so I'm just squeezing a little ball of micro, wait until the hook one, and then we'll squeeze that, chuck that hard ball in. Oh, there we go, just blew my rig about there, so just got to reset it. Plenty of fish coming in with peg again now, after it went a bit funny on my short line. So keep a few 4 mils going in on that. And I'm just going to drop that ball of micros over the top. I'm just going to reset that rig. Definitely being cute to catch now, much slower than what it was earlier. There we go, we've managed to get one. So, all the micros over the top. A few 4mm pellets on the short line. A nice common in the net. And you'll notice with this rig again, I've got literally no lash on it, so it just helps aid that self-hooking effect. So we can place him in down the edge. It's just a bit of a bush in a way. You know, look at the float, looking at the float whilst we're net to net in that car, and we're fishing again instantly. So I'm going to click him on the flicker, squeeze a little ball of micros, good to go. Rock our ball, just try and stop him kicking him about too much. When that float goes under, and you chuck that little ball of micros over the top, and just get ready for the next fish to come in the peg. If it gets to the stage where there's too many of them coming in, we'll just try and change it to 4 mils, but at the minute there's probably 3 fish in my peg there. Just fat my line and exited the swim, so it might need to reset with another ball. There we go, fish on. Then chuck the wings between your legs, little ball of micros in. Because the bottom's all over the place, I need to try and be quite accurate and not get it in the shallower bit of water where it's 6 inch deep and they're impossible to catch. There we go. Got a bit of a rhythm down there now. I haven't even got a chance to click or feed on that one, so we're going to a few more this in. He's unhooked himself for me. Watching the float, nets and netting in, and the fishing. And then whilst we're doing that, a few 4 mils on my short line, looking at my float all the time, and then we're just squeezing that little ball of micros again. So if you hook one, just missed the bite then. Just laid it over its back, so we'll just reset again. Ball of micros in, lowering that nice positive 0.4 rig in with our 6mm hard pellet on. So like 4 mils was really good to start. Now we're going to put some micros into our peg to try and entice them in. There we go. Oh, only a little stocky. We'll just reset. Pretty little self-bred one. So we'll put him in the landing net and just repeating the process again. So next net on him. And it's just going to be a case of bouncing between the short line and the edge line now. Just to pick 2 or 3 up, rest it, and then do the do the same. So just a little ball of micros in, because that one snatched me elastic out. I don't think he was in the mouth. Squeeze him a little ball of micros ready to go for the next one. I'm just going to give it a minute again just to see if we can catch one. If not, we'll rest it and go back on that short line. Just one in my peg and see his tail. So we're going to take it. Now look, I'm ever so moody now. So yeah, we're just going to come off that. I've caught a few better stamp ones down there. We'll just hook him up. And then we'll pick our nice light deck rig out. That one with a 6mm. I've just got one with a 6mm, one with an 8mm. Just to see what they're like. So before I get too excited, a few pellets in, 20 or so, flicking the rig past, let it straighten up so it's still falling through, and we've had one on the drop there, so nice quick response. Saying it's just being routined and not spending too long on a line, even though I could see them there in the edge. I didn't get a bite off one, and we've dropped on that short line. So again, 20 or so pellets, we'll flick that past, let it straighten up whilst we're netting this one over the top of ourselves. There we go, nets are netted in. So we're on the bottom that time. We had a bit of a line bite, the float went from left to right, so I'm not going to feed over my float, and there we go, fish on again. So 20 or so pellets, keeping an eye on what's going on in the edge. Nice little mirror car in between my legs where it's nice and secure, trapped under my armpit. Plate is unhooked. Try not to bangle my rig. So we're going to feed before I put my rig in the water, flick our rig past, let it straighten up, and then ultimately put our fishing via net to net. And we need to click. There we go, and we've managed to get another one on the drop. So even though we can't catch shallot, we're catching them just falling through the water now with that nice light carbon rig. So a few pellets in, flicking rig past, letting it straighten up, net to net in the fish. So pellet is on the deck now, just missed the bite, so we're just going to reset that. There we go, fish up. So just throughout the day, just making sure you're staying in contact with them, because as you can see there's more fish than there is water, but they are hard to keep lined up. So a few pellets, flicking past, waiting for that line to straighten up underneath, and then just lowering that last 6 inch down. So we've got half an hour left of the match today, and the peg has totally changed. It's gone from catching like 2 a chuck shallow to hardly any fish coming into my peg. So we've just changed it again, and we're fishing some dead maggots, like 4 or 5 dead maggots on a 14, and then we've got some really overwetted amino milled expander. My favourite is brown mate in the whole world. The original with a bit of dark, just to darken it up slightly. And basically, my theory is that the less fish coming in the peg, the smaller the particle you can put in to attract them. So when it was really good, we were feeding 4 mils. Then when it was changing, we were putting some micros in. And now it's gone rock hard, and I can be patient. Just clumping in that really overwetted milled expander. I'm just waiting for one to come in, and then it can just suck up me a few dead maggots. There we go, so managed to get in the ball rush to finish, but we've had a fantastic day. We've ended up with 270 carp. Been a strange old day, as I say. It took me about 20 minutes to work out what we were doing, and then I caught really well, and then the pegs totally died, but hopefully it's come across all right on camera. So I'm going to get packed away and we'll get the fish weighed in.
44.12, 47.12, 37.10, 51.2, 50 pounds, 7.12, 45.10. No, lost it. Gone.
Okay, bit of a summary then. So we've ended up with 270 carp, which is an absolutely fantastic day's fishing. And considering like the last hour it just shut off altogether is even more scary. Come the way in, it's been a bit of a disaster, and I'm going to blame the cameraman because I've been talking away and not clicking properly. I've ended up with what would have been the lake record and the venue record at about £450, I think we worked it out to, but unfortunately I went over in 1 minute, so I ended up with £384, I think, which won the match. Second has been 254, I think, off the top of my head. Just a fantastic day's fishing, an awesome day fishing, even though the weather's been really poor, and I am really gutted not to have the venue record, but hopefully it comes out all right out on film. And yeah, thank you for watching.